You could be blindsided by a person's actions, but not by the health meter of the relationship. You know where that's at because you have to feel it. Especially as a woman, you feel where the relationship is at. There's no way that you're blindsided by that. Like the actions of the guy, he might seem like perfectly loyal or whatever. He might do some fucked up shit. I can say, yeah, you could be blindsided by that. But the health level, the gut check of where the relationship's at, you can't be blindsided by that.
I agree that like you probably know deep down that there's something off. But my problem is the men mostly, because I know that there's plenty of men that aren't happy and they will entertain a woman that enters their DMs and whatever. But the ones that are claiming that they are happy and still entertain them, I don't fully understand that. And I get that they're probably not as happy as they think they are, but also like it's more hurtful, I feel like, for a man to say, yeah, I'm happy, everything's good, I like my relationship, and then still do that.
Exactly, right.
So would you say that the woman's doing something wrong if the man's responding to girls in his DMs?
Yes and no, right? In the sense that she has to know that the relationship isn't where it needs to be, right? She has to have some hint of that, and she's not probably she's not either figuring it out and help and like and trying to do what she can, or making it known to the man that she wants something better and deeper. And again, it's really the man's responsibility. He's the leader, but she can't claim complete innocence in that, knowing that there's some amount of separation, right? And we'll talk about it, I think, because you're reading the one book,
which one I'm reading? Two at the same time that we're talking about.
Yeah, the Way of the Superior Man. But more relevant is the Queen Code for women to understand, because there are things that you could do as a woman, right? We did talk about the Surrendered Wife and the Empowered Wife books, right? So not to put the responsibility onto women, but I'm just saying that there are things that you can do as a woman to improve the relationship, but you can't just say that.
Nobody's perfect. And so everybody in the relationship, even if you're not the man leading the relationship, you have to do your part too.
Yeah. But it's not ever to blame someone, to say, if someone cheats on you or like, is disloyal to you, that it's your fault. But it's to say that a
lot of people feel that way though.
Well, you do know, it is your responsibility to know the health level of the relationship. Just like when you're driving your car, if it runs out of gas, like, yeah, that can happen, but you should have been looking at the gas meter. And so it's kind of a similar type of thing. Is it's like, you kind of know where that gas meter is in the relationship. I mean, I'm not saying that no one's ever blindsided, but not really. Not to, like, you could be blindsided by a person's actions, but not the health meter of the relationship. Like, you know where that's at because you have to feel it. Especially as a woman, you feel where the relationship is at. There's no way that you're blindsided by that. Like the actions of the guy, he might seem like perfectly loyal or whatever. He might do some fucked up shit. I can say, yeah, you could be blindsided by that. But the health level, the gut check of where the relationship's at, you can't be blindsided by that.
That's true. Well, so since you said that 95% of men would do this, you are essentially saying 95% of relationships are in danger?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, even the statistics of divorce show that, what is it, like a 60% divorce rate, right? And that's divorce. That doesn't mean like living in a bad relationship. Like if the 60, okay, so you can take 60% of relationships that will eventually end in divorce, and you can toss them. You already know those are bad, right? So that only leaves you with 40% left. And of those 40%,
There's only 5 that are good.
It's you see what I'm saying? Like it's very clear. Like that. No, that 40%. You think that those are, just because you avoided divorce, right? You're going to have to now stratify that last 40% into saying, okay, like on the edge of divorce, how much percentage is that? Probably like 10%.
Okay, well,
then like, if you stratify it up and then you get to like exceptional relationship, it's solid, it's probably only going to be 5% of that whole mass.
Well, here's my other problem with this, right? I bet of the 95,
right,
at least I'll go smaller than I want to. 25% of those men would probably tell you, though, that their relationship is good.
Yeah, they would.
So how are you supposed to feel confident as a woman when your husband's telling you your relationship's good and telling other people your relationship's good, but he's entertaining other women on the internet?
Because your gut check of your health of the relationship is like, it could be good, but the intimacy level, a woman always knows that. She knows how close you are.
But where does like the accountability of a man lying about the relationship being good come in? Because I agree with you. You should check in. You need to check the meter. You need to be realistic.
Right.
But also at the same time, if someone's telling you that the relationship is good, like, why would you not believe them? Or like, then you as a woman have to be like, okay, well, something feels off. So can you tell me the truth? Like, then now she's taking the lead and I'm not trying to fix the relationship.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put the responsibility onto the woman. I'm just, and it's kind of weird that we even went this road with it to like almost shift the blame to
Well, no, because it's like, not really. I agree that like you probably know deep down that there's something off, but my problem is the men mostly, because I know that there's plenty of men that aren't happy and they will entertain a woman that enters their DMs and whatever, but the ones that are claiming that they are happy and still entertain them, I don't fully understand that. And I get that they're probably not as happy as they think they are, but also like it's more hurtful, I feel like, for a man to say, yeah, I'm happy, everything's good, I like my relationship, and then still do that.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, because like you said, if a woman can sense the vibe or like they haven't been intimate and they're like not really talking to each other and things like that, like she's got to know that that's probably more of a possibility. It shouldn't be.
Right.
Like as a man, you should still be able to control yourself even if you're upset from doing things that are going to hurt your relationship, because that's not really going to help by creating more problems when you already have all these other problems. But like, I guess the most confusing are the men that seemingly have a happy relationship and would even say they do themselves and then choose to entertain other women.
Look, I guess maybe I could put it this way is maybe, and it's, but it is what it is that if the man isn't actively pursuing you, he's pursuing someone else. So in the sense that, like, if he's not actively pursuing you in the relationship, if the woman does not feel like that man is constantly going, like, pursuing her, like, what I mean is building, trying to make the relationship stronger and better. That's what is. Then he will probably be receptive to other women. It's not about happiness, because a man can be happy, but it's not about that. It's like he actually has to be actively like trying to build and increase the level of closeness in the relationship, because that is what leading the relationship. Because if he's focused on that, like, look, as a man, I don't want to build someone else's business. If I'm building my business. But if I'm not building my business, then maybe I'm like over here and doing this one or this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But if I have my thing and I'm focused on it and I see it growing and I'm building that thing, I'm not tempted by other. This is the thing that I'm devoting my energy and effort to. But if I'm not devoting my energy and effort to something, then my energy and effort can be diverted to something.
But how can a woman feel safe and secure then with any man unless they have the security things that are put in place that we've talked about? Like, because again, if you're not putting the blame on women, I can't hear anything you're saying without feeling like I hear it's women's fault. Because why is it not men's fault to keep his focus on the one person?
I guess what I'm saying is I'm telling a woman how she can know.
Right. Okay.
Right? And how she should already suspect and know. And the only reason why I'm saying it that way is because it's going to come to a shock to a lot of these women that these guys are going to respond to this woman, because they're going to think that everything's solid. But in their really deepest of hearts, they know that intimacy that they want to have, it's not there. And that man's not continuing to invest in them. Right. It's like, but let's not be wrong. Like squarely, the responsibility and the leadership and the blame, if I don't even like to use blame, but it falls on the man. Because in no way, no matter who you are as a man in a committed relationship, you should not be responding to any
if the tables were turned
DM.
too, like you said, if some guy with 1 million followers or Leonardo DiCaprio messaged your wife, it's her fault if she responds. Like it's her choice. Like she doesn't have to. So the thing is, it's really whoever's fault is responding back to these people.
I don't really like the word fault or blame, but because I would tell the guy it's your fault that she responded to Leonardo DiCaprio, because it's like, if you haven't made your woman feel special enough, if you haven't done the things, if you're not actively, if you don't understand and know her well enough, whether it is that you have access to her phone or you don't even need to because you know where she is and what she's doing. Again, not from a weird controlling type of perspective, but because you have an interest in her life. From a
transparency, like openness perspective.
Because your lives are so joined that you know where each other is at all the time and what each other is doing and what each other is thinking. Like that's not from a weird controlling, I have to monitor everything type of perspective. But from that, then yeah, you screwed up as a man. So